What's good, chat? What's good, chat? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? It's it's the YouTube, man. Hey, you guys don't want to see too much. You guys want to see things you're not supposed to see. Man, why the fuck did they turn Kratos into a bitch, though? Bro, like, why did they turn Kratos into a bitch, though? God of War, Kratos has to be killed as well. Fuck. I don't like it already. Let's check out the video. This is just bad.
Remember when they made a Mad Max movie without Max in it, and it was a total disaster and nobody watched it and the movie totally bombed at the box office? Remember how it was basically a case study in totally not understanding your audience or even what made your own IP successful in the first place? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Exhibit B, God of War Lao Fei, the latest installment in the long-running franchise that just got unveiled at Sony's State of Play event a couple of days ago. A game that's already stirred up the fan base and the entire gaming internet into a firestorm of rage and backlash, and seems destined to do for the God of War franchise what Furiosa did for the Mad Max saga. Why? Well, it's simple really. It's a God of War game that doesn't actually have the God of War in it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I mean, okay, there's other avenues you could explore in this world, I guess. I think most players would have accepted a game about Atreus and what he does with his life after parting company with his old man. The ending of Ragnarok definitely left that kind of storyline wide open. Instead, though, Sony decided to release a game about Kratos' dead wife Faye, or Lao Fei, or whatever the fuck she's called. Anyway, God of War Quest for Laundry apparently spans the events of God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, and picks up immediately after Faye's funeral, where she finds herself in the afterlife with all the other dead gods, deities, and where every other belief system somehow all exists in the same dimensional space. Fuck me, I can't wait to see Mormonism represented there. Show us the gold tablets, guys. Anyway, Laundry Lady goes on a long and probably very violent journey through the afterlife, beating the shit out of the gods and monsters that exist there with the help of a talking cube of jelly named Frank. And yes, I'm being absolutely serious here, so that she can save Kratos in a...
Nah, man, y'all done fumbled big one with this one, shit. Y'all done fumbled big with this one. I wouldn't even lie to you. How do y'all turn God of War to a bitch, though? Shout out, you guys was popping. It's your boy FIIEN Dintona Sikasi 1496. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure I get them fucking subs up, man. We loud and direct.
Atreus from beyond the grave.
I don't know why.
You know when you just read something like this and think to yourself, why? What were they really expecting to achieve here? I mean, was this a story that really needed to be told?
No.
More importantly, was it a story that anyone really wanted to hear?
No.
Because I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that when you think of a God of
Shout
War
out,
game,
guys.
you're probably gonna...
Shout out, you guys was popping. It's your boy FIIEN Dintona Sikasi 1496. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We drop content daily and we go live every single day. Welcome to the sub, welcome to the channel. Late night stream, y'all. Just reacting to a couple of videos and we're gonna call it a day.
Imagine a big, angry, muscular, bald man who grunts a lot, tearing the shit out of anything and anyone who gets in his way, and maybe sparing a vague thought for
Boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy, boy.
You're probably not going to think of a depressingly mundane looking middle-aged woman who looks like the devs applied a 1980s Scottish housewife filter to the mocap actress, swapping quirky Marvel banter with a talking cube made out of jelly and voiced by Jack Quaid. Because truly, if you need some kind of unthreatening, unassertive, pussy-adjacent whipping boy for your story, then there really is no one better. The point I'm making here is that this franchise has been entirely defined by Kratos and his personal journey since the very first game, and trying to port that kind of long-running audience investment over to a new character that was only ever mentioned in some pretty brief flashbacks up until now feels like it's really not going to work for you. You're choosing to fight a battle that you can't win on a battlefield that's completely not advantageous to you. What do you think's going to happen? And yeah, let's be honest here, there's the whole modern audience thing to consider as well.
Shout out you guys, be sure to get themselves up. This is sad watching all these great games become basically a playground for women to launch their ideas, dog. It's sad to see, dog. Well, I wasn't gonna play any of them anyway.
Gamers, just like film and TV fans, have had some pretty unpleasant experiences over the years as their favourite male characters were swapped out, killed off, or just forced to step aside and make way for a collection of prickly, unpleasant, arrogant, invincible girl bosses that nobody asked for or liked. The result? Years of great storytelling and emotional investment flushed down the shitter. And for what? So the devs can pat each other on the back and tell themselves they're making gaming more inclusive? You know, if I was a cynical man, and my experiences with modern entertainment have made me thus, I might suggest that this whole game could easily be a cheap attempt to reframe Laundry Lady as the real hero behind the events of Ragnarok, saving the day for Kratos without him even knowing about it.
Fuck.
Then again, I could just as easily be wrong about that, and I hope I am, because the God of War series has been fucking fantastic in recent years, and I don't want that to stop now. Either way though, I think this is where a lot of the backlash is coming from. Like it or not, the God of War franchise, with its insane levels of over-the-top violence, overarching themes of revenge, honour, personal growth and fatherhood, has always been aimed squarely at one demographic. Men. Kratos is like the ultimate male power fantasy in a physical sense, but with something deeper and more...
Yo, shout out, be sure to get themselves up. I don't know what is it that they're really trying to do with, like, turning my nigga into a... I don't know.
Inflicted beneath the surface that keeps him interesting. That doesn't mean women can't and don't enjoy these games, but it does mean that men are by far your target audience, and the moment they get even a hint that the franchise is being pussified, that their favourite hero is being pushed aside in favour of someone more diverse who appeals to modern audiences, or that they themselves are being disrespected or taken for granted, then they can and will fight back. Like I say, it feels like Sony have chosen a battle that they can't possibly win with this one, and in fact, it's probably going to result in heavy losses all around. I don't know, man. Maybe the real God of War was the laundry we did along the
Shout
way.
out, chat. Be sure I get them subs up.
Anyway, that's all I've got.
Bro, like, I don't know why they turned God of War into a female center protagonist game, bro. Like, this is just terrible. This is just terrible, terrible, terrible, terrible, terrible. This is just terrible news, y'all. Shout out, chat. Be sure I get them subs out. This is just terrible news. Everybody's talking about this shit, bro.
Everyone has the ability to be right or wrong. Like, I remember we had one of our producers, and she was like, "We just really want people to like Vince," and I was like, "Why?" Like, it's just really not important to me, and I understand fully what she's saying, but the why comes from what is that integral to in the story, in the universe, because it's just not realistic. I'm honestly not that likable of a person, so I don't really understand like the need for certain things, especially when we talk about being creative. So I just try to make sure that we have as many points of view as possible, as many perspectives as possible. Everyone has the ability to be right or wrong. Like, I remember we had one of our
Vince Staples. I like Vince Staples. He's a cool guy. Vince Staples, and he makes actually like amazing music. Vince Staples makes amazing music. I won't even cap with you. Ambitious Entertainment. An SA Hip Hop died with Ambitious Entertainment. Let's tap in on that video, chat. Let's tap in on that video, chat.
So today I want to speak about Ambitious Entertainment. So if you guys remember Ambitious Entertainment, it was literally one of the biggest South African hip hop record labels, or should I say one of the biggest South African record labels
Yeah, it
that we
was.
had, right? A lot of things happened, you know what I'm saying? Contract disputes, people left, they got new people in, they lost most of their stars actually.
Shout out,
But
shit.
one thing we can't deny about Ambitious Entertainment is that at some points they did own South African hip hop, right? They gave us MT, they gave us Reese, they gave us Saudi, they gave us Java, Black Diamond. At some point they signed Pretty Ugly. They just gave us a lot of artists, right? And I'm here to discuss whether or not Ambitious Entertainment dying or Ambitious Entertainment slowing down or Ambitious Entertainment falling off, whatever you want to call it, right? Is that the reason, or is that part of the reason why South African hip hop has also died, right? Let's get into it and let's talk about it, right? Ambitious Entertainment
Was
what
Ambitious Entertainment like the biggest label to like produce hits? Because I know like they were like, yeah, they were dropping a lot of fire records, but like were they like the number one label in the country to actually produce hits? Because if that's the case, that would make a lot of sense. Why? Like you imagine like the biggest distributor of something, if they would have to die and no alternative or no other record label as big would come into like take over the distribution, then there is going to be a dip in the
was
marketing.
one of, not even one of, Ambitious Entertainment
Shout
was
out, Chef, make sure I
the
get them
most
subs up.
South African hip hop record label you could want to go to.
Yeah.
If you want to be in tune with your roots, if you want to be in tune with your nationality, if you want to be in tune with your culture, you go to Ambitious Entertainment. They made super South African hip hop. They made super South African music,
Yeah.
right? They literally owned South African hip hop, right? MT was dominating charts. Ify Cooper dominating, Java dominating, Mash Beats from there, A Reese from there, Flame there.
Everybody
They
was
were just
there.
dominating everything when it came to South African hip hop.
Everyone was
right?
there,
And it
bro.
brings me to a thought and a conclusion that had Ambitious Entertainment still been around, had Ambitious Entertainment still been active right now in 2026, I don't think we'd be saying or speaking SA hip hop is dead.
Investi.
endaweni right
Investi.
ufake imali yakhe ukhozi
enhle basasekhona abanye abantu abafana nohozi vele
bakhona basazoba khona as long as basafaka imali yabo
There's nothing new under the sun.
emfethu umuntu uyahamba ebhenki athathe i-500k for ukuphusha ama-artist wakhe ayi-2 basayina i-contract ye-2 years right khuluma nentwana ngithi ziyaphapha lezi zithanda ukukhomenta futhi ku-Facebook yabo ithi ngibagelezise
bagelezisi
let me school them
school them
i-grootman liyavala lithatha i-500k ebhenki
Yeah.
li-investa kule talent yakho and now ukuthi you're the only one talented there's a lot of talent
Yeah.
but u-investa kuwe because he believes kuwe
yeah
and spiritual uyakufila
yeah
thatha inyo kwakhe
Shout out,
thatha
Chef.
i-250
Get
faka
them
ngapha 250 ngapha 2 brands uyawaphusha thatha
Listen, guys, this is what I will say about the whole signing thing, bro. At the end of the day, if we look at this purely based on a business perspective, guys, then it makes no sense. Like there will never be a time whereby a company is gonna hire you, then you can do whatever the fuck you want in that company. No, if that company hires you, they wanna do what we say, we wanna say, and whatever we wanna say, and we decide how much you're gonna get paid, because that's just the terms of the contract. So I don't blame record labels as much, because at the end of the day, it's a business, and everyone needs to get paid.
50,000 uyifaka ku-TikTok ubhatala wonke ama-influencers
Shout out,
aku-TikTok
chat. Let's get them subs up.
ukuthi baposte ngawe ingoma ethi ba ibe viral thatha i-50 faka kuphi maybe ku-press release ukuthi ugcwale wonke amaphepha ube
They talk
everywhere
of the town.
thatha 50 ushoot ivideo wenzani uthatha i-50 ushaya i-radio tour after lo muntu lo yakubuild you came ngo-music music only and the talent
Ongena foko.
music and the talent that's what you only brought
eish
lo muntu uthatha i-250 or 350 yakhe ifaka kuwe
Oh, that's
Hey.
why they get it twisted and say they're not getting money.
No, yeah.
Usuka bhadala loan ngale
Yeah.
omchunela yona.
so uyaqala manje uyablow up people they didn't know you bro
Yeah.
People that didn't know MT until Kosi came and re-released a rollout.
Now hear me out, right? Ambitious Entertainment had the craziest plugs, the craziest connections, the craziest networking you can ever think about, right? When you sign to Ambitious Entertainment, you become an MT. And when you become an MT, you become a super national star.
Yeah.
Right? These guys, everyone who's under their record label and left today, are stars. You look at Danya Devs, he's going crazy right now with the numbers. He's doing the craziest numbers and craziest fame and craziest hype or clout or whatever motion.
Yeah.
Get 2 large Savor Flavor pizzas
that
for
boy got crazy emotions. I don't
$179.80.
listen to
Rowan's
him though,
Pizza. Best pizza, best value.
You can't deny.
Join Discovery Life today and get activated in 30 minutes. The future of life insurance, now.
Or attention, whatever. Danya Devs is just going crazy. Java going crazy. MT is going crazy. Saudi was on Black Panther. Hey Reese, we ain't even gonna talk about Reese.
Come on, you know.
Right? They just going crazy. Right?
And
And for me, as I'm saying, it's bringing me to
Yo, bro, like I like a game, Let's not try to make it like we all know. This guy is the goat, like this skinny ass dude right here, dog. Guy, this guy's the goat right here.
a point of saying that had this
Let's not
still
talk
been a
about Reese.
collective, had this still been a movement, SA hip hop would still be alive. You know, I don't like saying SA hip hop is dead, but according to everyone out there who's not a part of this culture, they keep saying SA hip hop is dead. So if Ambitious Entertainment was still alive, I don't think people would be saying this, right? And then it brings me to realizing something else, right? I don't think major record labels or white-owned record labels, I'm just going to put it like that, right? I don't think major record labels like black people owning such big record labels or such big
Enterprises, yeah.
corporations or organizations or industries, or being
Shout
a
out,
part
Shay.
of these corporations or industries in such big, positions. Like Horsey. Horsey was
Agam.
that guy's a
Shout out
goat.
Agam. Shout out
Right?
Claudia.
The disrespect around Ambitious.
Shout out you guys, what's popping? It's your boy FYIEND on Sikasi 1496. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We drop content daily and we go live every single day. Shout out Claudia and shout out there Agam 001. Shout out you guys, be
The
sure to get
disrespect
them
around
subs
Horsey
up. Welcome to the
needs
late
to be
night show
thrown out
with
the
your
window.
boy.
And why I'm saying that major record labels had a problem with this is because
Shout out.
when it comes to Ambitious Entertainment, right? We are
Shout
just
out,
sitting
Shobi,
and
shout, get
saying,
them subs
oh,
up.
these artists were getting
Shout out
ripped
Claudia.
off. Oh,
Shout out,
these artists weren't getting
Agama.
what they deserved. Oh, these artists
the
were this.
Agama.
Oh, these artists were this. But when someone tells you that J. Cole was under a 360 deal, you're like, huh?
Yes.
What? Oh, no, but that's okay because he's under this. When someone tells you that Drake's deal is bad, they're like, but that's okay because it's this. Why do we change the whole thought process
Shout
or
out, Chef.
move the
Shout out,
goalpost when it gets to a South African-owned record label? Let's be honest, right? Yes, I'll admit that maybe these artists didn't get what they deserve, right? But it is your responsibility to make sure that you have read that contract properly. It is your responsibility to know the terms, to know when you can renegotiate for a better deal, when to, you need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You need to do that. And that's why I'm saying it brings me to a point where I'm like, I don't think major record labels wanted a Mabala Noise in the place, an Ambitious Entertainment in the place. They didn't want record labels like that because these record labels are owned by black people. They didn't want that.
And, they were
And that's why I'm
successful.
saying that if Ambitious Entertainment was still around
Come on, man.
right
What
now
up?
in 2026,
Make sure
SA
you tell
hip hop
us
would
again,
still
bro.
be
What's
alive.
up?
because check it,
What are you talking about?
I'm not only saying that it would be alive because of the artists that, would be. So, okay, so let me just say this. Hypothetically, right? A. Reese was still under there. MT was still under there, Java was still under there, Saudi was still under there, Beefy Cooper was still under there. You know, just the main guys were still under there with Black Diamond. You know what I'm saying? Say all of these people were still there, right? I don't even think those people would be the ones making the bigger numbers right now. Think about it. Upcoming artists, right, would want to be a part of an Ambitious Entertainment because of the artists that are still there. They would want to be a part of that. That would initially just grow the market, grow the record label into being, you know, the most attractive South African record label that we have. And it would generate more stars, because one thing about Ambitious Entertainment is that they know how to generate a star. They know how to make a star. The one moment where I saw, okay, these guys are good at what they do, was when they signed Pretty Ugly. He had that In the Mood song, right? The next day, they got him on a remix with Saudi. And people started bumping the remix with Saudi. That's how I knew these people know how to make a star. You know what I'm saying? So I think putting Ambitious out of the game was also detrimental to South African hip-hop. Because it did do a lot for South African hip-hop. By Any Means by Stogie T is under the Ambitious Entertainment page or the YouTube page. And it's bringing me to say, had Ambitious Entertainment still been around, had Ambitious Entertainment still been in the picture, we would be speaking a different story when it comes to South African hip-hop. Because even the features that would have been made, you would have been getting a song with Danya Devs, MT's, Java, Beefy Cooper and Reese, produced by Mash and Raf.
It's 1987, and we are at war.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Started.
And that's why I'm saying it's at a point right now where I think these majors and these white-owned record labels do not want us black people to have a very large stake in the music business. Every black-owned South African hip-hop label falls off. Why? Hey, I'm asking, why? Rap Light.
Scandals.
All of KO's record labels.
Yeah.
Mabala. Ambitious. AK wanted to start his Beam group. Failed. Family Tree. What happened to that?
Failed.
Tall Racks. What happened to that?
He didn't sign.
I think the only surviving thing right now is Revenge Club Records, but that's not even like a record label like that. That's just like for the family. You know what I'm saying? And it's leaving me to question, like it's making me question the state of the industry right now. Like, why aren't our black labels or rap owned labels or whatever being successful?
Shout out,
because had these things been successful, trust me, we would have been making it. We would have been making it. As I said, Ambitious Entertainment was the blueprint of wanting to be a South African rapper, a South African sounding rapper, right? Reese was rapping in his language. You know what I'm saying? It was the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it feels like had that still been in place, had Ambitious Entertainment still been in the picture, it would have inspired more people to be more South African, be more representing of home. And it
times
just
do change,
all
boy.
failed, you know, because this.
Hey man, times do change, man. Shout out, chat. Be sure I get them subs up. The God of War Laundry. There will never be another Gareth Bale. Ellen DeGeneres. What did Ellen DeGeneres do?
The moment Ellen was exposed as a monster,
Ellen DeGeneres might have had the biggest fall from grace of all time. In just a matter of days, her 2 decades reign as the queen of daytime TV completely fell apart. And despite her self-proclaimed...
How does 20 years of work just vanish like that? Like, how does 20 years just vanish like that? Shout out, chat. Be sure to get them subs up.
Title as the nicest person in show business, there was some clear warning signs as to who she really was. Like when she pressured Mariah Carey into revealing her pregnancy before she was ready.
Wow.
The other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay.
Wow,
no,
that's
a
low ball.
Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since we.
The moment came all the way back in 2008, 12 years before the truth about Ellen would really come out. Mariah, like countless celebrities before her, had come onto the daytime talk show expecting some easy questions and some wholesome fun. But
I feel like going on this show, you're kind of playing Russian roulette with actually being asked genuine questions, or it's going to be a humiliation ritual.
Instead, halfway through the interview, Ellen ambushed her with questions.
I don't know, bro. Like, I haven't really like tapped into the Ellen DeGeneres show, but I know it used to be popping like back then when DSTV was still like a huge thing here in SA. Back then when it was still like a huge thing popping, I used to see the show, but I never used to like tap into it. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro.
About rumors that she was pregnant. While the audience were laughing along at the time, it's clear now just how uncomfortable this really was.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
You can't have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is.
Is it really?
Yeah. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying?
I'm not gonna.
Wow, using alcohol as the flipping weapon to get her to come out because she knows she can't drink it if she's pregnant is crazy work.
Ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not.
is peer pressure. You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
My goodness.
That's weird.
Giza burst during dinner? Good thing you're naked and can call a plumber anytime on the Naked app. Get naked.
By doing this, Ellen...
If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We drop content daily and we go live every single day, so be sure to get them subs up. Late night stream with your boy reacting to some videos. Let us continue to lock it the effort in. No album next week.
And put Mariah into an awful position, either having to endanger her future child or reveal her personal life to the entire world. It's incredibly abusive and invasive to do this to someone, especially on live television, knowing what happened afterwards. You see, Mariah lost her child later on in her pregnancy, and subsequent interviews showed just how much this moment affected her.
I have my own dog. Actually, she's pregnant. I have two dogs. Both.
But her master isn't.
Her master is. Well, let me take some of the vodka next to me.
Why aren't you answering?
Ellen did that to me and tried to put me on the spot.
All right.
With some alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
real
trying
alcohol.
I'm trying to put you on the spot.
In an interview a year later on with Larry King, she's nearly in tears from discussing what Ellen did. The wound was still raw. In an interview from 2020 with Vulture magazine, Mariah Carey said that, quote, "I was extremely uncomfortable with that moment is all I can say.
Yeah,
and I
I
really
bet.
have had a hard time grappling with the aftermath. I didn't enjoy that moment." What this did was show that Ellen's actions still hurt years and years after the fact. All just for a bit of gossip on daytime talk show that people only remember now because of how awful this really was. It's moments like this that make you doubt how Ellen...
Yeah, and she knew what she was doing. I know a lot of people are trying to defend her. Well, they did back then, saying it was a joke, you know, bloody, bloody, blah. I don't think so.
Ever got a reputation for kindness, or how she even got started in the industry to begin with. In truth, it was a rocky road at first. Ellen began her career and ended it recently as a comedian. For years she had great success, working her way up from comedy clubs into the mainstream. This gave her parts in films, and eventually her very own self-titled sitcom. But in 1997, at the height of the show's popularity, she came out to the world. This was one of the first times this had ever...
Yep, I'm gay. Seems like an interesting book.
happened with such a big star, and while her bravery was praised by the show business world, it also either caused or coincided with a sharp drop in the show's popularity. It was cancelled just one season later. An attempt at a different sitcom didn't work either, and for a few years, Ellen slowly faded out of the public eye. That was until 2003, when she got a role that would restart her career and kickstart her journey back up to the top. In many ways, Dory from Finding Nemo was the perfect role for Ellen and
Great
her
film.
image. She played the scatterbrained but energetic and upbeat character so well that it felt like it was made for her. And the massive success of this film, especially her role in it, gave her the exact blueprint she needed.
See, I didn't even know this until recent that she was the voice. I didn't even know.
Ellen would then take this and synthesize it into a whole new vision for her career, playing a version of this character for the next 20 years. In that very same year, Ellen then began hosting the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Her positive, innocent, and energetic
The Ellen DeGenerate or DeGeneres? Which one?
persona cut a stark contrast to the rest of the daytime TV landscape. For years, shows like the Jerry Springer Show had dominated TV with their focus on conflict and taking it as far as
That
possible.
show was funny.
But Ellen was seemingly different, with people describing her interviewing style as like talking to an innocent, overexcited 12-year-old, as it gave this impression of a wholesome, harmless show that was easily digested by the masses. But as we find out later on, it was all just a performance.
Yeah.
Even before the truth finally came out though, there were a whole lot of hints coming up.
I mean, look at the background
All
of the
just a
show.
performance. Even before the truth finally came out,
We all know what that looks like, and that signals.
does
Yep,
that
kind of
signal?
looks like that island of the guy she was friends with. It's kind of similar.
though, there were a whole lot of hints
Bro,
coming up
that's-
to
that's-
this.
I don't
You see,
need to-
Mariah wasn't the only celebrity to have negative experiences on The Ellen Show. Over the years, there have been way too many awkward and toxic moments to count.
Why do you deny it? Because we didn't. Oh, okay. So,
As a lot of Ellen's jokes
Look, they've even got the white and blue thing in the background that kind of looks like the temple.
often relied at
come
poking
on,
fun at her
this
guests, whoever they might have been. And while most of the time this came off as good-natured banter, sometimes her angles of the attack would reveal the depths of her inner prejudices.
Yeah.
Ellen actually often had a go at translators she had on the show, as well as the guests that they were translating for. I mean, just take a look at how she spoke to one translator in this clip.
学会在学怎么弹电子吉他，你还想再学
Just one question, just what else does he want? I don't know what you're telling him, but just ask him what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
Translation is hard on its own, let alone between a child and an adult in front of a live audience.
Sure,
Then,
sure,
without
sure,
any
sure,
clue as to whether her assumptions
It's
are
also
right,
like up
Ellen
the
cuts
stream.
off the translator mid-sentence like she's taking too long. Then
Yeah.
Ellen would spend the next few minutes digging further into this joke, finally ending it by saying that she's lost interest and cutting off the kid mid-sentence.
就弹一些演奏曲，就是只单。
never mind. Okay.
Hints like these were rare at first. Most of the time on the show, she was being kind, doing giveaways with the studios' money, and just generally reinforcing her on-screen persona.
Damn, bro, like just a few bad, bro. People expect you to be perfect the whole entire time. I feel like that's another reason, bro. This is the reason why, Joe. I'm so, like, bro, like I do not want to pretend like I'm something I'm not. Like I do not want to pretend like I'm something I'm not, because then when shit like this pops off, it seems like you've been lying to people. So it's better for people to know that I'm an asshole and occasionally a good person than for them to think I'm an overly the top nice person, then they find out it's because actually an asshole. And you know what I'm saying, bro?
You're going through a tough time financially.
It's
Shout
just
out,
hard
Shep.
with
We should
4
give them some
kids.
This is all so fake. You know, people can really do a lot in front of a camera. They can really pretend to be somebody they're not, and she's a perfect example of that.
So why don't I just give you every single thing we gave away on all 12 days?
Hi, bro. Is that the guy screaming like that? Can't wait for the Vince Staples album.
It was hard for people
Oh, bro, why is he screaming like that? Yo, why is my guy screaming like that, bro?
to see her slip-ups as anything more than just a
Shout
bad
out.
day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, whenever Ellen made audience members or guests feel small, they couldn't really do anything about it. Her fame and her power over the world of show business, combined with everyone thinking that she was this lovely, wholesome person, made her untouchable. It was only sometimes when she had guests on her level of fame that she was ever actually challenged. Ellen's relationship with Taylor Swift was an interesting example. At first, she treated her like any of her other guests, putting childish pranks on her and generally making jokes at her expense. It was after years of these that Taylor and her friend Zac Efron decided to get back at Ellen in possibly the most innocent way possible,
Oh, no.
by writing a song about it to perform on the show itself. Regardless of how you feel about Taylor Swift, it's kind of satisfying to see Ellen get a taste of her own medicine.
Yeah,
She has to
yeah.
pretend to enjoy this, while you can tell that on the inside, she absolutely hates being upstaged, called out in a way that she really can't respond. The way she's holding onto her armrest so tightly proves how much she's struggling to hold herself back.
Yeah.
While all of this might have just been speculation, Taylor's next appearance on the show proved
Oh no. She went back. She should have known a humiliation ritual was on the
Ellen
cards
was
now.
definitely holding a grudge. Later that year,
Shout out, you guys was popping. It's your boy FYIENT, Tonasek 1496. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We drop content daily and we go live every single day. So be sure to tap in with us. Late night stream, just reacting to a couple of videos. Right now we're watching the Ellen DeGeneres try to win everyone back. It got even worse video right now. It's very funny.
during Taylor's next appearance, Ellen decided to probe at a topic that struck a nerve with Taylor for years, her love life. In the interview, Ellen started out by implying that Taylor was dating Zac Efron, who she was just on the show with previously, before launching into a game designed to reveal Taylor's private life.
You were here with your boyfriend Zac Efron last time.
No, I haven't talked to him in a while because we didn't date.
Yes, you did. Why do you deny it?
Because we didn't.
Oh, okay. So, which
Seems like
song
an
is about Zac on the
interrogation.
new CD?
There's nothing really about Zach on the CD because we didn't date.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. You don't have to say. I'm going to show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it.
I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you will.
This is the one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have is I know that.
What do you mean one shred of dignity? You're just filled with dignity. Ring it on 3 different guys. We'll narrow it down. So ring it 3 different times. You're supposed to ring
But
what?
I don't want to. I don't want to. What are you doing?
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Is she crying?
All the while, Taylor's
Hold up, wait. Is she actually like breaking down in real time or what? Like, is she breaking down in real time? I don't think she's. I think she's really crying, girl.
protesting about how she doesn't want to do this, that it's the last part of her life that's still private, and that it gives a bad impression. It's exactly what she called Ellen out on before, and she's almost brought to tears. It's clearly been designed by Ellen to take revenge on Taylor for calling her out. She's gleeful in how uncomfortable it's making her, while she presses ahead despite how much...
pretty clear what Ellen was trying to do. She was trying to get revenge. That was just weird. That was like an interrogation.
Taylor is protesting it. Taylor meanwhile knows that walking out would be a massive scandal for the tabloids, so all she can really do is just sit and take it. Whilst these were some of the more famous on-screen hints as to who Ellen really was, there were definitely plenty of others. Over time they began to add up, and slowly year by year the illusion began to break.
Yep.
On air, she would often humiliate audience members regardless of what they did. One time they had a fake giveaway where people from the audience were told just to take one piece of Ellen merchandise from a table. It was all a setup designed to catch someone out. When one lady took something extra for her sister, Ellen would replay the secret footage of it to the whole world just to shame her. Then she made her sit in a so-called prison right in front of everyone, away from the main audience.
So before the show, I put out some Ellen products with a sign that said only 1 per person.
Shout out, chick. Ellen. How was that?
And I just wanted to see how honest my audience was, you know? But we set up hidden cameras just to make sure. I mean, any of you could have taken more than one thing, and you didn't, except for these ladies right here. Listen, I really, I'm sorry. That's embarrassing and everything, but, you know, let that be a lesson to you, because you think... It is. You think nobody's watching you, and you just need to be a good person just because you want to be a good person. You go sit in that Ellen jail over there right now.
What? This is weird. People watch this?
Yeah.
People watch this show, apparently.
Well, I don't.
Huh.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
In this scenario, someone did something marginally wrong, and Ellen took her response way too far.
Yeah.
But to get on Ellen's bad
weird.
side, you didn't even need to do anything wrong at all. One time, a fan of the show sent in a painting they had made of Ellen and her wife. It seemed to be
nice
a
thing to
lovely
do.
gesture born out of how much someone had loved the show.
Yeah.
But instead of praising it or treasuring it, or even just ignoring it, Ellen called them out on live TV and made fun of the portrait instead.
Really?
And here it is. Yeah. That's what I said when I saw it.
Wow.
It's called Ellen and Portia number 10. He took 10 tries, but he finally got it.
Can you imagine the kid or the person who drew that and they're just watching that You know, that probably took a long time to do that. Such a lovely gesture. It don't matter if it's the worst photo you've ever seen. If someone did this for me,
like, come on, bro. Like, if somebody, if somebody drew the plug, dog, like that shit is getting posted. That shit becomes the cover art. You know what I'm saying? That shit becomes like the cover art of like the next album type shit, bro.
It could be the worst photo I've ever seen in my life. I will treat it like the guy gave me £1 million. You know, it's such a lovely thing to do. It just shows our character, really. And to do that on camera is even worse.
This is when Portia and I would weave our hair together. We would,
I don't think it's that bad.
It's actually a good portrait of Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa. I may send it to them.
Whenever anyone put a stop to this or tried to outshine Ellen on her own show, she would react very strongly. Some people like Ricky Gervais naturally just showed her up. In a strange trivia game she made him play against her on the show, he beat her both at the game and made quicker, funnier jokes than her. You can see how much this annoys her, but she can't do anything in response because everyone else is also having fun. As time went on, little moments like these slowly led an open secret in Hollywood and show business as a whole. The fact that Ellen was actually not nice at all. It's actually amazing how much evidence there is of this from just her on-air performances.
Yeah.
In the later part of the 2010s...
Can you imagine what she's like off camera if she's like this on camera? I bet she's a real piece of work.
Things only got so much worse for Ellen. While on the surface the show did seem to still perform well, it wasn't where it once was. Years and years of keeping up this character had clearly drained Ellen. She stopped at iconic dancing, brought in guest hosts, recycled content, and just generally put up far less effort into the whole thing. Meanwhile, her ability to keep up the persona had begun to fall apart. Mean-spirited jabs that used to be well hidden started backfiring. In 119 went viral, and did major damage to Ellen's reputation, which was already beginning to fall apart at the seams. It also showed the laziness that had taken over the show as well as Ellen's severely overinflated ego, and you can see how much it troubles her as it unfolds. She knows she just got caught completely red-handed.
You know, I'm gonna say this, bro. As this is why it's important to be you, because you can never get tired of being you. So if you're an asshole, just be an asshole outright, and let people who hate you for being an asshole hate you, and let the people who love you for being an asshole love you. Because for you to be able to do a show for 20 years, this is 20 years of grinding. For you to do a show for 20 years, gang, that's going to take a lot out of you.
Especially as she pulled exactly the same trick last year. By the time 2020 rolled around, Ellen's show was truly on its last legs. When lockdown came, it only upended things even more. Ellen's show couldn't continue as it had. I mean, you can't really sit down with people every day and have a live audience when everyone's in quarantine. But what was much worse for Ellen's career than the lockdown's effects on the show was how she handled it herself. Like other celebrities, she was fully involved in the whole imagined publicity stunt. Then she made posts talking about how she felt like she was in prison, all from one of the many rooms in one of her multi-million-dollar mansions.
That's crazy. Talking about you're in prison, playing the victim, chilling with millions in your bank account in a massive mansion with like, massive grounds, a garden. You can do what you want when you want.
There's enough space to do it.
Yeah, we're meant to feel sympathy for you or something.
Just the honest stuff we've already seen should have easily been enough to get people asking questions. But there were also tons of hints based on how she acted off-set as well. In fact, it was these little moments that are likely to have contributed to her downfall far more than what happened in front of the cameras. In individual moments with fans and members of the public, Ellen showed her true colours. Each of these small examples of disrespect weren't enough on their own, but added up, they created an awful career-ending picture. Once this finally broke, it was going to be all over for Ellen. It was in 2020 that these experiences really came into focus, when the comedian Kevin Porter asked people for their negative Ellen experiences on Twitter, offering charity donations in return for each one. And he couldn't have ever expected the massive outpouring of stories he got. With over 2,600 replies and counting, it seemed like everyone in Hollywood who had met Ellen had something awful to say. So many things that you can't think for 1 second they weren't based on the truth. To list just a few highlights, there were tons of stories about Ellen insisting that people shouldn't look at her or talk to her. She would not thank or even acknowledge people who brought her things like coffee, or she would just completely ignore the live audience when she didn't absolutely have to talk to them. One waitress who served Ellen and her wife at a restaurant was allegedly insulted by her and shamed for having chipped nail polish of all things. A week later, she was then fired after Ellen strangely and viciously complained about her to her managers. And if that wasn't bad enough, the majority of the complaints came from people who worked on her.
Damn, bro, like, She done got her fired, bro. Hey man, may money never make me into whatever. I don't know what box to put her in, like, but may money never make me this type of a person, bro.
Show. There were numerous reports of a toxic working environment, racism, prejudice, insults, and people would get fired for speaking up, or even just taking bereavement or medical leave. This all got the ball rolling, and from just one Twitter thread, the open secret was no longer taboo. A few months later, BuzzFeed then released information from the first formal investigation of the show. It included far more detail and tons more allegations against the show and Ellen herself. While the reputation of niceness that Ellen had built insulated her for years, it backfired spectacularly once the truth became publicly known. Deprived of the very selling points and idea behind her show and her persona, she was forced to retire. After the allegations, the show carried on for one more tired season. Then it was cancelled, never to return. Now it's worth asking how this could...
Bro, but then like if like she's still, I think she has like a YouTube channel. Let's check real quick. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres. Why am I not rising? Because if she has a YouTube channel, dog, she's still going to get paid like years and years and years. I want us to check it out real quick. But I'm sure it's big. 37.9 million. 19,000 videos. 23 billion views. Bro, she's never going broke, dog. Even if she would stop, like... Nah, she's not going broke, dog. She has too much work. She has too much work on her side, bro. Like, she has too much... That's a 20-year-long career, dog. So, yeah, bro.
Surprised it went on for that long, to be honest. I don't know who watches that crap. To be fair, I used to watch Jeremy Springer and Jeremy Kyle a lot just because it was so bad. It was entertaining. Like, it was so funny. And a lot of the people were so flipping dumb. It was just entertainment. That's all it was. But the Ellen show is just... I can't see anything interesting about it. Nothing. I find it crazy that people actually... Well, there's a lot of things that are on TV which I find crazy that people watch. Same with Love Island and... Don't even get me started on that.
Gone on for so long in the first place though. Fame and power obviously give people their own protection, but it's still a testament to the rot within Hollywood and show business that this could ever happen. Ellen built an entire brand on being kind and open, while undermining people, being rude to people, and treating them like trash the whole time. And it's not even just her. People like James Corden have also had similar allegations. But all of this makes her recent Netflix special all the more insulting, where she still plays the victim and acts like all of this was just overblown. However, these are the same techniques that kept her on the top. Celebrities that came onto the show only to get insulted or humiliated, they couldn't speak out. They're forced to appear on these shows most of the time anyway to just promote their movies or music. Then they have to endure whatever happens just to get some publicity. Ellen took advantage of this power imbalance. If they spoke up without enough proof, then they would be risking their own careers and reputation within the entire industry. Audience members and less famous guests were in the exact same position, only they wouldn't even be heard if they spoke up anyway. Lastly, there were the people working for her who were completely at her mercy. They didn't have...
And she had Diddy on the show as well, don't forget that, and was talking about how great the Diddy parties are. Not surprised she was...
What? Ellen was doing free cars. Allegedly, don't sue me, allegedly.
Those...
any choice at all. Their whole livelihoods depended on staying on Ellen's good side or flying under her radar. It's this popularity contest and these social pressures that enabled someone like Ellen to have so much power and fame in the first place. What's more, Ellen used her immense wealth and fame to become a house flipper for celebrities, and this gave her even more influence.
450 million as of 2024?
Yeah.
Wow.
In Hollywood circles, perpetuating her career in spite of how awful she treated everyone. This is how she spends her time now. Most recently, she bought yet another mansion in the British countryside, along with a ton of other multi-millionaire celebrities. While she might have lost her show, both Ellen and
the mansion she dipped to when the Epstein files came out? That's interesting.
The forces that created her are still deeply embedded in modern Hollywood. Instead of being a cautionary tale, her story tells us that you can do pretty much anything you like as long as you have enough fame and power. When such a rotten apple can be declared as the sweetest of the bunch, you know there's a much bigger problem at play.
True. Anyone else notice that the people who most loudly proclaim their goodness and morality are actually the most wicked and corrupt? Yeah, we've seen that now, and all that stuff, the charities, the money, the donating, doing nice things, it's all for the cameras. It's all for the cameras. Forcing someone to reveal that they are pregnant is unbelievably cruel. Pregnancy isn't fun and cute for everyone. Baby loss is utterly devastating. Yeah, that one was pretty bad. The Taylor Swift one was pretty bad, but that one was the worst one for sure. And getting her to drink, forcing her to drink, and people laughing. I don't know about that one, Chief. Ellen was letting Mariah know that she knew very private things about her. A creepy, abusive power demonstration. Yeah. A lot of the bad clips I've seen, they are almost like a humiliation ritual. Well, I say almost. They pretty much are.
Shout out, y'all. Be sure I get them subs up. Be sure, boy. We out here. We out here. Shout out, y'all. Just see. He ate a bear. 3 weeks later, his muscles. What happens to his muscles?
A family froze their bear meat for 45 days because an expert swore that the cold would make it safe. Then they grilled it. Months later, a lab thawed 1 gram of the leftovers and counted more than 800 worms still moving. 15 weeks in a freezer had killed none of them. Yeah. Nobody at the table knew, and the youngest person they fed was 12 years old.
What the fuck?
Welcome to Diagnosis Glitch.
This story is based on documented events. All names are real. In the early summer of 2022, an extended family gathered in South Dakota for a reunion. They came from 3 states: Arizona, Minnesota, South Dakota. Relatives who do not see each other often, converging on one backyard around one grill. 9 people in all. The youngest was 12. The oldest was 62. One of them was a hunter. The spring before, he had traveled into Canada and harvested a black bear in northern Saskatchewan. He brought the meat home. It was the centerpiece the family had been waiting for. Bear's not something most of them ate often. It was the kind of meat you save for an occasion, and this was the occasion. The man at the center of what happened next was 29 years old. The record does not give us his name. It gives us his age, his state, and what the bear did to him. So that is how we'll know him. A 29-year-old man from Minnesota standing in a backyard in South Dakota in front of a fire on a summer evening with no reason on earth to think the meal in front of him was anything but a celebration. Remember the grill. We are going to come back to it. Here's the detail that reframes everything that follows. The hunter had done the responsible thing. He'd asked the hunting outfitter who guided the bear harvest, had told him how to make the meat safe. Freeze it. Freezing kills the parasites. So that's what the family did. The bear meat went into a household freezer and it stayed there for 45 days. Everyone at that reunion believed the meat had already been made safe weeks before they lit the grill. They were not careless people. They were obedient.
How long does it take for bacteria to die on bear meat? Like, how long does that shit take? Wait, let's search. Let's search real quick. How long does it take bacteria to die on bear's meat when frozen? What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Freezing food won't kill existing viruses or bacteria, but it can prevent them. Okay, it can prevent them from growing to unsafe levels if you follow food safety guidelines from the very start. Freezing helps preserve quality and prevent new bacteria growth, but it cannot reverse spoilage. So if the worm's already there, it's chai.
People. They did the exact thing the expert told them to do. And the advice was wrong. Not wrong for pork, not wrong for the kind of worm most people have heard of. The freezing rule is real, and for the parasite in commercial pork, it works. But the worm in that bear was a different species, and this species is not killed by cold. The safety step the whole family trusted was the exact thing that left them exposed. The bear meat was cut into kebabs, threaded onto skewers with vegetables, and cooked over the fire. There was a problem nobody recognized. Bear meat is dark, almost mahogany, and when meat is that dark, you can't read it the way you read a steak. There is no pink center to warn you. The color that normally tells you not yet is simply not there. So the kebabs came off the fire looking done, and they were served rare. Someone noticed the meat was undercooked. It went back onto the flame and was cooked again, but the first servings had already gone out. The damage, for some of them, was already done. Within a couple of days, the first relatives started feeling sick. Stomach pain, diarrhea, nausea, the ordinary misery of what feels like a stomach bug or something that just did not sit right. Nobody calls a doctor for that. You wait it out. You blame the potato salad. Here's where the disease first hides. The early phase of this infection looks exactly like food poisoning, and the cruel part is that, in a sense, it was. They had eaten something that made them sick. The label felt correct. It was just pointing at the wrong thing. And then the stomach symptoms eased. People felt better. The reunion broke up. Everyone drove home believing the worst was behind them. It was not behind them. It had just gone quiet. To understand the silence, you have to understand what was happening inside them while they felt fine. When you swallow this parasite, your stomach acid sets it loose into your small intestine. The larvae grow into adults within a couple of days and mate inside the wall of your gut. Then the females begin doing...
Larvae, dog, like that's an entire infestation, bro, of like flipping bacteria, dog. That's like a million eggs, dog. When they say larvae, that's like a million eggs, boy.
The one thing they exist to do. Each releases not eggs, but live newborn larvae, up to about 1,500 over her life, and the blood carries them out the entire body. This is the quiet phase. The stomach calms down precisely because the parasite has moved on. The larvae have left the gut and traveled into the muscle. The patient feels relief. The patient is not getting better. Then, weeks after the meal, the second wave hits. The muscle phase typically arrives 2 to 8 weeks after infection. In a separate bear meat outbreak in North Carolina, doctors measured it. The median time for the meal to the second wave was 21 days. About 3 weeks of feeling fine, and then the second phase of the illness begins. The faces swelled first. The tissue around the eyes puffed up until the eyes themselves were swelling shut. Fevers climbed. Every muscle began to ache in a way that does not feel like a normal ache. It feels like the muscle itself is the thing that's sick. And here's where the system that's supposed to catch this began to fail, because the blood work pointed everywhere except the truth. Sky-high muscle enzymes and muscle pain looked like an autoimmune
Bro, and I must say this, bro. Like, the worst kind of sickness is whereby, like, the pain is inside. Like, you feel it inside your bloodstream. Like, you feel like the bone is it. When you try to hold the skin, the flesh, like, you can feel nothing, because it's like the bone inside is the one that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Disease called polymyositis, which trichinosis has been mistaken for in published cases more than once. The flood of immune cells called eosinophils looked instead like a blood cancer, and in one separate documented case, a patient with this infection was run through the genetic test that screens for a form of eosinophilic leukemia before parasites were ever confirmed. The 29-year-old man was the worst of them. He sought care 4 times. He was hospitalized twice. Across a span of 17 days of a young man visibly and severely ill, his face swollen, his muscles screaming, walking into the medical system again and again while nobody could name what was wrong. Think about what a doctor sees when that man walks in. Fever, aching muscles, a swollen face, blood work that comes back strange. None of it points in one obvious direction, and all of it points in several wrong ones. The muscle pain plus the sky-high muscle enzymes looks like the autoimmune disease attacking the muscles. The blood work looks like something else entirely. And the one test that could end the confusion, the antibody test for this exact parasite, was about to make everything worse. We'll get to that test. It's the center of this entire story, and it did not behave the way anyone expected. For 17 days, the man was a medical mystery. What finally cracked it was not a scan, it was not a clever new lab, it was a question. On the second hospitalization, somebody finally asked the right one. Somebody took his food history and asked what he had eaten, and the answer was bear meat. The moment bear meat entered the chart, the whole picture snapped into focus. The doctor started him on an anti-parasitic drug called albendazole for probable trichinosis. After 17 days of treating the wrong diagnosis, the right name finally arrived. Not because the system tested for it, because someone finally asked. To understand why this is so hard to catch and why the drug is not a clean rescue, you have to see what the worm actually does once it reaches your muscle, because it does not simply hide there, it builds. A newborn larva carried by your blood arrives at a striated muscle fiber. It penetrates the fiber and gets inside one of your own muscle cells, and then it begins to rewire that cell from the inside. First, it dismantles the machinery. The contractile fiber that makes a muscle cell, the part that lets it contract, dissolve away. The cell stops being a muscle cell. It's reprogrammed into something the parasite needs instead, a structure scientists call a nurse cell, a cell rebuilt to keep the worm alive. Then the larva coils up inside that nurse cell, and a wall of collagen is laid down around it, sealing it in. And then it does the thing that should not be possible. The larva grows itself a blood supply. A brand new web of tiny blood vessels forms around the capsule, connecting the sealed worm to your circulation and feeding it. It is not just...
This is fucking crazy, bro. And all of this shit is happening at a molecular level, Baba. Like, at a molecular level. We're talking about tiny inches, dog.
Live in your muscle. It rewires one of your muscle cells to keep itself alive and then draws its own blood supply from your body. This is the central mechanism of this story. Not just a worm in your muscle, a worm that turns one of your muscle cells into a sealed capsule with its own collagen wall and its own blood supply, and it can sit in there sealed and fed for years. Now hold that picture because it explains everything the patient feels and it explains the glitch. The larvae do not scatter randomly, they go where the blood flow is richest because they travel by blood, and the most heavily supplied muscles receive the most of them. The muscles that move your eyes and your face, your jaw and your tongue, your neck, the diaphragm you breathe with, and the muscles between your ribs. Map that onto the symptoms and the whole syndrome makes sense. The larvae and the inflammation flood the muscles around the eyes and the face swells and the eyes puff shut. It's the signature sign of this disease, and it shows up in roughly half to 60% of patients. It is swelling, not bleeding. The bleeding this disease can cause is real but rare. Thin, splinter-line streaks under the fingernails, the occasional red blotch on the white of the eye. What defines the look of this illness is the swelling, the face inflating, the eyes closing, the jaw and tongue turn painful to chew and speak with. The diaphragm and the rib muscles turn breathing itself into something that hurts. And as the muscle fibers break down, they spill an enzyme called creatine kinase into the blood. In this family, the numbers were striking. A normal level tops out around 200. The 29-year-old man's was over 1,000. The 12-year-old girl's was nearly 2,500, more than 10 times the top of normal. At the same time, the eosinophils surged. In the 12-year-old, they made up 37% of her white cells. In the man, 22%. Now the glitch itself. There's an antibody test for this parasite. During the worst of the illness, that test comes back negative, not because the test is broken, because when the worm reveals itself, the proteins that trigger your antibody response are not released until the larvae have reached your muscle and built their nurse cells. Before that, there's nothing for the test to find. So the antibodies do not reliably appear until weeks 3 through 5, and the test can stay negative anywhere from 12 to 60 days after infection. Meanwhile, the patient can be harboring infective larvae walled into the muscle by around day 18, sometimes before any antibodies exist at all.
Sure. Me, I'd cry, me. Forest lobster. What the fuck is that?
What did you steal?
I've never heard of that one.
Steven Spielberg.
Carbon.
This guy is just casually having conversations with these things. Hello. Fuck. I'm not supposed to watch this. Ah, fuck, bro. Fuck. Damn. Didn't even realize. Okay, let's just give it a moment. What more can I say? Welcome to LA. Man, am I losing my love for music though? Nah, I can't be.
Let's see if we can find the one that got away. Redhead. Might be our only lead.
Just give it a minute, John.
Looks like she took off into the industrial park.
All right, let's search the area.
Status of the suspended.
Perimeter stable. Holding position.
Oh my god!
Look at the flash.
No answer. Stay sharp. I don't like this. Should do another sweep. It's too quiet.
Fuck, boy.
Shut it, freak. Ship's gassing off.
Not today, Bob.
The hell? Skullbuster! Up there! We need backup now!
Who's this now? Shout out, Chip. Shout out to them. Who's this?
There you are, Red.
Jean? Is that you? Don't worry. You're not going anywhere.
Everyone shoot! Son of a bitch!
to invest in the most anticipated IPO in years with XM? SpaceX, the company.
Wolverine is gold.
Yeah, let's go.
Shit. Yeah, that'll work.
Where are those mutants? He's a wild animal! Get out of my way! You're mine, shorty! How's that feel,
I've never been a Tomb Raider fan. I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a Tomb Raider fan. Let's see what they have.
Been halfway across the continent looking for you. Hard woman to track down.
Well, you found me.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire. This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle, buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
Next year. It's a next year release.
PlayStation.
무차 쓴다요. You could. Shoot!
うっかり死んだりしちゃわないよう気をつけるんだぜ。
プレイステーション。
Prepare to face the supreme master of the pugilistic art, the Duke of Get Your Dukes Up, Mr.
Actions are worth more than any word.
And the greatest action is to fight.
You have defeated so many. You've defeated whole worlds. But you've never fought Doom. Let me show you why you should kneel. Think you're a genius, Doom? Your works are mere trinkets. My genius is endless!
And now my turn. You made promises, Doom, and those promises shall be kept.
This violence will solve nothing, Eric.
My dearest Rolo, mutant kind shall rise, and I will be the one to lead the way!
Showtime! You look a little angry, Bug.
Wait, are all these like PlayStation exclusives or what? S game. Ooh.
PlayStation.
I see much from my perch atop the tree of tranquility. Yet, there are some outcomes that are uncertain, even to me.
Dragons! Let's roll!
Your heroics will no doubt be the stuff of tales twice told throughout the Glade of Dreams.
Come feed my ox!
Calming biscuits? But... Oh!
Follow me, brave heroes. The Glade of Dreams is in grave danger.
It's time I made my mark.
It's 4 against 1! You don't stand a chance! Maybe he stands a little bit of a chance. Globots to the... my favorite is the Diplodocus.
There's always a choice.
PlayStation.
Does it matter? A beast isn't far from an Oni, you know.
You do well to follow his example.
I thought you'd see the appeal, Musashi.
That castle on the mountain.
Musashi, I sense Genma. Prepare yourself. No ordinary Genma can move like that. I doubt this area was designed to welcome visitors. The castle's owner must be terribly cautious.
I am Suten Tochi. Miyamoto Musashi. The fool who seeks strength, yet rejects the power of the Oni. You shame yourself, child. Witness my might!
If you live by the sword, fighting is everything. So you've lost. Will you swap the sword for a trowel?
Like hell I will.
No? What then? Are you going to start taking human souls?
If human souls are what it takes.
Musashi, if that's the path he walks, I will follow. I've chosen to trust Musashi's judgment in all matters.
Ori departed. Give me every ounce of power that you have. In return.
Then get going. Onimusha.
PS5.
PlayStation.
They should have kept going.
Hey! Who's there?
Simon. Are you there? Please say something. Where did you go, Simon?
Something doesn't feel right. Zoe? I'm sorry, Zoe?
What are you doing here?
I didn't react to this video. Hey, Maranam sometimes. What the fuck was I doing? $2.30, baby, won't you leave me by the bed? $2.30, baby, won't you leave me by the bed? You know what it is, know what I'm missing. Blending City, she blowing me kisses, no. In the city, she blowing me kisses, no. Onimusha. Nah, man, that Korovo Luffy thing, boy. It's not the one. Wait, let me see.
If you were president and you had 2 or 3 action items, what would those be?
You have to get Joburg right.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we
I am?
Okay.
Atlantic City. She blowing me kisses. No. Hold on. 1 hour 37. Like, this shit always feels long.
New Nivea Men Deep Real Madrid Special Edition gives 48-hour moisture for confidence that you can see.
Why is it always that when there's people who guys they give you a song? Okay, this. What to watch? I mean, I still gotta like stream for like an extra like 30 minutes or something. Like, still got like 30 minutes.
Caspar Nyovest exposed again. So this time he's exposed for his recent tweets that he made about the current hip hop game and the current hip hop industry, right? So if you are a fan of
wait, is this how Caspar Nyovest telling this first spells niggas? Like, Yeah, but thought, why couldn't you just pick whether it's an H or a G? Why not?
That he made about the current hip hop game and the current hip hop industry, right? So if you are a fan of, you know, international hip hop, or you just tapped in, right? You might have seen Jay-Z come outside, you know, dreads undone, afro popping out, and he had a lot of words to say about people. Drake, Nicki, Tory, Dame Dash, just a lot of people, right? He had a lot of things to say about them. Casper Your Vest, right? He had something to say about that. Casper.
You are a damn hypocrite, dog. Casper is the biggest hypocrite in this game. This is the same nigga that's talking about, oh, MC Keys, you get paid in then you're gonna talk about what's rap being a lost art form. You're the last person to be talking about this because you contributed to it dying.
Okay, so Casper says, notice how Jay-Z's bars have niggas arguing about the actual intent, trying to decode what exactly he's saying. A lost art. Everything surface level nowadays, nothing left to the imagination, like half-naked IG models. Okay, so now I got a few things to say about this, right? The first thing I want to say, right, is that I told you guys about Casper. I told you guys about Casper. Last year.
Casper's not
2 years back. I've been saying that Casper is not for the culture. How can he come outside to speak about decoding bars, dissecting bars, being a real MC and all of that when he was the one making fun of rappers who rap similar to Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one saying that you can't be MC Mkhize and, you know, try to wasn't he the one saying that?
He was the one.
Oh no, if you guys forgot, let me remind you.
It doesn't make sense. You're there, you're trying to impress MC Mkhize with your bars. Everybody who are you radically, spiritually? Hey, my man. It doesn't work like that. If you want to do that, go and open a circle somewhere and then rap and the Bruce will pay you in
So now that I've reminded you guys about what Casper Nyovest said about rappers who actually, you know, are trying to keep a dying sport alive, and we know who he was talking about there, right? He may have been talking to a lot of people, but we know who he was talking about. He was talking about Reese.
Oh, yes.
Reese is one of the few rappers, right, even internationally, who are representing this rap thing to the highest level.
Yeah.
Who are still keeping a dying sport alive by actually rapping without gimmicks, without anything crazy, just rapping, just doing their thing, right? And Casper had something to say about that. Imagine saying something like that, and there's a kid out there who's trying to be a rapper, who's trying to put out his message, who's trying to put out his skill, right? And that is the message that you as an OG have for a kid out there who's sitting in KZN, who's sitting...
You know, bro, like, when it comes to that particular thing that Casper said, dog, I never tried to look at it from an art perspective, and I tried to look at it more from an e-commerce perspective, you know what I'm saying? Because Casper's all about the money, dog. So you can put the money and the arts inside like the same brackets. It's not the same bracket. Like Casper is more of a businessman than he is more of an artist. So when it comes to him sharing his takes in terms of how you should rap, how like it doesn't really make sense, because his main focus is e-commerce, is making money. That's his main focus. That's why you can never take artistic advice from a Casper Nyovest, because it's all about the money.
Sitting in Cape Town, who's sitting in Pitori, Joburg, wherever you are, right? You're sitting there having a dream of rapping, and that is your dream. And someone as big as Casper Nyovest, an OG, brings you down and tells you that you cannot be MC Mkhize. And today...
Yo, imagine if like your rap name is MC Mkhize for real. Yo, dog. Yo, but if like my name was MC Mkhize and Casper, I was on a dissing, dog. I was like, Casper.
Oh, today.
I was like, nah.
Because Jay-Z said something.
Now. Like,
because Jigga Man said something. Oh, now it's Yam. See how people are trying to dissect Jay-Z's lyrics. See how people are trying to decode Jay-Z's lyrics. Don't come here with that, brother. Unk. Don't come here with that, Unk.
It's calling you Unk.
I've been telling you guys about this guy. How can Casper say anything about rap? I don't remember one song I've had to dissect or decode from Casper Nyovest, even at your peak. I don't remember one song. And here's the thing with you, bro. Here's the thing with you.
Why is he busy?
This isn't the first time that you do anything like this.
No.
The MC Mkhize thing wasn't the first time that you disrespected the culture of South African hip-hop.
No, it's not the first time.
You left the culture for Amapiano and told the kids, yo, Amapiano makes more money, so go and do Amapiano. Leave hip-hop.
Yeah.
Those were your words.
Yeah, he did say that.
You said hip-hop is dead. Those were your words. And today, that's what you say. Acting like you ain't the married guy with half-naked IG models on your videos. Bro, are you serious?
He's that
What are you talking about? Like, what is this nigga actually talking about, bro? And okay, let me be fair, right? Let's actually give him some props before we actually, like, continue to speak about this. Casper, you have classic albums. Tolofelo, Refilo, Tudo, Any Minute Now, Solomon. Solomon is wonderful, right? It's a beautiful project. You know what I'm saying? You have made history,
credit on that.
right? In terms of being an entrepreneur, you've done it.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of filling up stadiums, you filled up Orlando, FNB, the Dome, Moses Mabhida. You filled up all of these stadiums, filled up all of these arenas. You've done it. Shout out to you. You're an OG. No one is going to take that away from you. But uncle, when it gets to rapping, you need to sit down. You need to sit down.
It's not comments.
You don't want us to go back to Punyuga Bampete. Oh, you don't. Play that shit. And this is the guy who's telling us to dissect lyrics, dissect bars, decode bars. Mahanyane, Joe. Please, dog. Please, please. Please, bro. Please, dog. Please. And you know what I'm happy about? I'm glad Stogie T called him out. I'm glad Stogie T called him out. So Stogie T says to Casper, I love you at Casper Nyovest, but you gotta take a look in the mirror on this one, bro. You stay marking rappers for the same lost art you are bemoaning. Did we not do this on Frank Casino's song? Did we not break release day streams? Have every significant reactor on the internet break down bars from the song? Win an award for that song? We literally gave people no excuse to ignore a lost art. We need to have a proper conversation about Casper Nyovest, right? We need a whole round table to actually discuss Casper Nyovest, right? Like that's how much this guy's disrespected the culture. We need a whole round table, the biggest commentators, the biggest media personalities.
Yo, bro, like, but they're not gonna allow a great suit or allow it, bro. In order for you to have like all of these, you have to be someone like a Mac G. If Mac G can put Mswenko, okay, Swisher, Brandon, who else? P that G, like those type of guys, like he would have the power to do that. Because for these guys to just come together and just they're not finna do it unless like they're gonna be paid for it. Because they could just be at the crib and making money.
Table and discuss points on why this guy is actually for the culture. A lot of people are gonna be like, he's made history. He filled up the Dome. He filled up these kind of stadiums, right? Alright, bro. Have you ever seen a Brother Cooper at his last fill-up? A Jay Katana at his last fill-up? Okay, cool. Maybe you guys are like underground artists ain't doing that well, whatever. I didn't see a Kenki. I didn't see an Usi Mamani. I didn't see a Tony Diamond. I didn't see the Kuelas.
On Casper's show.
I didn't see any of them. But I did see Uncle Waffles. But I did see Durban Goko. I did see all of these people who are outside of the hip-hop community.
Listen, bro, like, guys, like, Casper Nyovest, this is a great video, let me, like, Casper Nyovest, bro, like, he's in it for the money, dog, like, fuck the culture, like, Casper Nyovest is not a cultural person. He might have big moments, because obviously he's huge, but he's not a culture person, bro, like, why isn't Casper on Your Vest having like, bro, like, we can get into debates about all the things Casper can and cannot and should and shouldn't be doing, you know. You can get into a convo, but truth of the matter is all of his moves are purely based on business and not based on culture.
Community. But he's done a lot for the culture, right? Casper has done a lot for Casper on Your Vest.
Yeah.
Casper has done a lot for Casper on Your Vest. I'm going to repeat that. Casper has done a lot for Casper on Your Vest. You understand how many times I'm saying this? Casper has done a lot for Casper on Your Vest.
Yeah.
Not for hip hop. Yeah, he might have broken the record that Pitch Black Afro set for being the only rapper to go double times platinum. Cool, right? But you haven't done anything for the culture, bro.
Next.
Let's be honest.
Next.
You are out there at Ricky Rick's funeral saying how you're gonna carry Cotton Fest on your back. That's what you were saying. Rerun that video.
So I want to say to the family that we are with you should you need anything. And I think it is up to all of us to make sure that his legacy continues. Starting with Cotton Fest, we have to make sure that it happens. And it has to happen annually.
Cotton Fest died, bro.
This will be the end of my speech.
That is what your GOAT was saying. That, oh, nah, we gonna... What happened? When Cotton Fest needed money and Cotton Fest was dying and Cotton Fest was being cancelled, where were you, bro?
He was chilling at the crib, dog, with the IG model.
And you for the culture. And you the Grotman. And we should respect you, but you don't want to respect this culture, the culture that brought you up. And you keep disrespecting it. You keep disrespecting it.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna say this, bro. I know when a nigga blows up, bro, and like everybody is checking out and peeping a nigga out, checking how I move, I might just get a whole lot of flack for the fact that I just don't care about the OG. Because then it's like when we really look at it from a perspective of, bro, like these people haven't really done anything for me. Like listen, bro, like if we need to be serious, like we can't just say what they did for the culture, because then it's like when it comes to like I'm a commentators, of course they're gonna benefit from certain things, but if you didn't help me personally, bro, then you don't deserve the hot man status from a nigga like me. You just don't deserve it. And a lot of guys in the industry, we haven't really linked up or did any businesses yet. But the more a nigga goes up, I'm gonna experience these things. But I'm gonna do this. Like if a nigga has not helped me personally, I'm gonna respect him as someone who's been a part of like the same industry and they've done amazing things. But I'm not gonna take them as my hot man. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I don't want to have any more conversations about Casper. I feel like he's at a level where he's gonna keep on exposing himself. He's gonna keep on exposing himself.
We don't have to do nothing. Just let the boy be.
He's under a lot of pressure. That Punyuga Bampeta joint ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
You are just trying to prove that you're an MC. So for your next album, you're gonna go crack your brain with quadruple entendres. You are under a lot of pressure, on. Even if you drop something as great as Reasonable Doubt, Magna Carta, 444, in my books, I will never, ever regard you as someone who's for the culture. And that's just on me. That's just what I'm saying. If you South African fans out here are calling out Drake, saying, oh, Drake is not for the culture. Oh, Drake is this. Oh, Drake is that. Call out Casper. Come back home. Come back home and call out Casper. Come back home. We tired of this. We tired of this Casper thing. We tired of you saying this. We tired of you saying that. We just...
We are tired. Rikatele. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Drop 6 videos in 10 days. But it's still out working.
Laula got naked while standing on Loop Street.
And then my job is a whole lot easier than these guys. Beyonce's a sex tape. God damn, bro. It's never what you think, and it is never as it seems. We are not accepting God. Well, I'm not gonna play it very minutes, so you have fun. Let's see. These days, I'm letting God handle all things above me. The reason I love her, the reason you love me. She drove through a crowd. What the fuck?
Drives through crowd because she's late.
I apologize, but I do need to go. So can I move this?
No. The road's closed.
But that's what I'm saying. And all
I don't want to listen to her, bro. Have you ever tried listening to a woman? Sure. Ngakhala. Video fatalities confirmed in apartment explosion. The reason I love her, the reasons you love me. Yo. $2.30, won't you buy the Bing? You know what it is whenever I'm missing. Blame the city, she blowing me kisses, nah. refresh this fucking shit. Juggernaut.
I thought that was you! I should have worn my white pants! You probably get this a lot, but I am a huge fan. Uncanny X-Men, One of These 3, Thor 411, X-Men Unlimited 12. You know, it has always been a dream of mine to see my face reflected in your helmet as you charge at me with murderous intent. I don't mean right now.
I'm gonna rip you in half now.
That is such a Juggernaut thing to say.
This here is Cain Marko, or more commonly known as the Juggernaut, but you probably already knew that. Well, I would say that until a couple weeks ago, I saw a tweet posing the question, could Deku beat the Juggernaut? Now, not to be rude or anything, no amount of weather feats could change the fact the moment this guy gets a running start, it's going to look like a quarterback running through a line of infants, and Midoriya over here will be turned into a cloud of red and green mist. What I also saw was many calling him obscure, which either is a sign of me becoming old or letting the Twitter brain rot consume me. But to call this guy, who has been in countless cartoons, video games, and even in live action, an obscure character is ridiculous to me. On the surface, the Juggernaut may come off as your typical bruiser character, a big old brick wall for a hero to overcome, a strong man if you will. But when you look past that, you can see the Juggernaut is deeper than that. He grows from just your run-of-the-mill villain to a fully fledged hero in the last couple of decades. Seeing how most adaptations of the character steer away from this part of the character, reducing him to just being a big old meathead, is a little sad to see because I think the Juggernaut is so much more than that. He's come a long way from being just a villain. He works for damage control, helped the Avengers, and even been an X-Men, despite not even being a mutant. He's just that damn cool. But before I get ahead of myself, I think it's important to start from the beginning. Appearing in X-Men number 12, his first appearance was a pretty important one because this was our first look in Charles Xavier's backstory, as both of their backstories are intertwined. For those who don't know, Charles and Cain are both stepbrothers, being raised by Kurt Marko. In the 12th issue, we learned that Charles was always the golden child, getting trophies, praise, and all the attention from his father, while Cain was always left in the sidelines, using the only thing he has over Charles, his physical strength. Oh, and Charles would also invade his mind and tell everyone his secrets. Man, this guy sucks. A common misconception is that people think the Juggernaut is a mutant, which I know surprising, look at him, but he gets his powers from the gem of Sidorak. He becomes his personal avatar given one mission, to destroy. To give you an idea of what being in the avatar of Sidorak entails and truly how strong Cain is, you know Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, who literally had to sit out of Civil War because victory would be decided on that alone? Yeah, no, he gets one of his most common spells from him. This guy is a real deal deity. He has devoted followers, frothing at the mouth to become the next avatar, cults, statues erected in his honor. So being the avatar grants Cain immortality, immense amount of strength, and stamina. One of my favorite instances of his powers being
Trump buys islands. Yo, I would Trump in man, yo.
Mitchum 48-hour sweat and odor protection. Dare to sweat.
Bring your own fire with soccer tops from $119.95. Ackermans, now the one for every fan.
Meet Frank Richards, the only man who could survive a cannonball shot to the stomach and not even break a sweat. But that's just one of the many superhumans I gotta show you. Like Kirby Roy, who's unable to feel pain. Norman Gary, who's one with the bees. And so much more. And first, there's a man whose way with words might leave you scratching your head.
Storkadge keeps me up.
Yeah, this is John Sevier Austin, and his secret language can only be decoded if you hit the rewind button.
Look at me. I am speaking backwards.
See, John has a unique ability to speak and sing backwards, and it all started when he accidentally played a record in reverse at 5 years old. Now pushing 55, John can not only think and visualize things backwards, but he can also quickly reverse words, sentences, and even full-on songs on the spot.
Så Schwarzwaldskekgezellig for Lackerbus. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I mean, I can't even carry a tune the regular way. Meanwhile, John over here is singing whole freaking ballads backwards.
Jelsne posronone, one's other shed, dashing through the snow, and on horse open sleigh, over the fields to go, laughing all the way.
But John isn't the only one with a unique set of skills, because Michel Lotito, aka Mr. Eat All, can literally eat it all. And trust me, the dude lives up to his name.
How is that?
Yeah, the guy's got godlike stomach acids that allow him to consume up to 2 pounds of metal per day. To the extent that throughout his lifetime, he reportedly ate everything from bicycles to grocery carts, TVs, computers, and even a pair of skis. God damn! I bet his toilet has seen some things. But it doesn't stop there. Because for his biggest meal to date, Michel took on an entire Cessna aircraft, which took him 2 whole years to consume. And I don't know what's crazier, that or the fact that he died from natural causes. Now, Michel might have had a few screws loose, but he's not the only one. Because we gotta talk about the most flexible man on the planet, Alexei Goloborodko. And to say he's limber is nothing short of an understatement.
None.
You see, after going to the circus with his mom as a kid, Alexei realized he wanted to dedicate his entire life to becoming a contortionist. And man, was he the right guy for the job. Because not only can he bend his...
I remember this. Shit is like deja vu.
I appreciate that. Where's...
Is this like... Drake is the biggest, yo. Yeah, let's see what we have here. What we have here. Shout out, chat. Shout out, y'all. No, Frank. What the fuck, boy? Keys on the table. Yo, they got these guys to wear a rainbow colored badge. Come on, boy. What they doing to soccer players?
Oh, they're pushing each other. What is going on here? He's lost his head here. Give him the ball. Let him take it. Bellingham thinks he was fouled. I'm not sure if he's having a go at the referee or a go at his fellow players, because he did as much as he could just to hook the ball when nobody was over near him.
For the season, Bellingham goes down a little spectacularly. Which was nothing, he was never getting the ball, and even the second one, it was overhit by Fede Valverde. Bellingham off, Ian, and Mendy off as well for Rodrigo.
Oh, another great ball from him. All coming together with Coleman and with Veltman, and it's a penalty. Now there's a big discussion here going on about the penalty. Richarlison grabbed the ball. Calvert-Lewin has been demanding it. Coleman goes across to try and sort this out. Calvert-Lewin has now got the ball. Richarlison is fuming. He's lost his head here. And this is extraordinary, because even if he doesn't take it, it now puts way too much pressure on the man who is going to take it. He certainly can. 2-0 Everton in front of the Toffees fans. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 3 in 3 to start the season.
Una follia, palla per Icardi che può far correre anche Osvaldo ignorato. Tiene palla Icardi, l'avanzata lo controlla Bonucci, Icardi. Cerca il tiro a Ciro e Osvaldo è una furia. E qua ad affrontare a muso duro il connazionale. Si dà pace un fallo, il grande ex. E qui avere Icardi è tanto.
And he goes for goal. Well, he's getting a real dressing down here from Stanislas. Oh, they're pushing each other. Stanislas and Surridge, and Jefferson Lerma has had to come between them.
My press from Smith.
Good save from Rodri there. Pogba's furious. He's got the ball on the edge of his box, and that mistake happened.
Well, he was furious with his teammates, wasn't he? And Deschamps saying, well, calm down, just got booked, we can only do flying off the handle. That was the support. He didn't want to be in that position, Pogba.
Alex Tellez to try again with the corner, and Ronaldo met it once more, but straight at Krul this time.
Seems like there's a real coming together inside our penalty area. I actually think it's the foot of Harry Maguire that catches the head of Paul Pogba. Is it the right foot of Harry Maguire? Just advances, just swipes the ear of Paul Pogba. Certainly see why there's blood on the Frenchman's head.
Kanjo, Serna.
It's not your day, it's not your day. And now infighting as well.
Kanjo and Asu Akoto, and Webber very smartly intervening. He's fouled, he finds Madueke. Madueke beyond Nikolenko. Tarkowski points to the penalty spot, Paul Tierney.
So Cole Palmer at this point is on the deck. So then it becomes a bit of a wrestle initially between Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson.
Have a look at it as to who will take this. Nicholas Jackson. You're 4-0 up and you argue between yourselves. What is going on here? Madueke storms off in a huff. Nicholas Jackson likewise. Conor Gallagher, the captain, steps in and sends the suitors away. That's poor. That is poor. Hands it to Palmer. Listen, who's the penalty taker? It's Cole Palmer. Give him the ball. Let him take it. Palmer. Well, even a disruptive build-up didn't faze him. Rolls it in coolly. It's 9 out of 9 penalties for Chelsea for Cole Palmer. Chance for Liverpool. This is Jordan Ibe into the box. Down he goes. Penalty, Liverpool. Now there's a conversation going on between Henderson and Balotelli as to who will take the penalty, and it looks to me as if Balotelli has taken the ball away from Jordan Henderson and said, I'm taking it. It's Balotelli. It's 1-0 Liverpool. And he looks across as if to say, well, of course I'm going to score.
Dendi Cagney, Feguli, yerden Kerem, Feguli dokundu, Traore bırakmayın. Radamel Falcao bu arada gerginlik yaşanıyor şu anda Marcao. Tansiyon yükseldi. Marcao'yu arkadaşları burada işte kendi takım arkadaşı Kerem'le yaşadığı bu gerginlik, ardından tansiyon yükseldi. Takım arkadaşları sakinleştirmeye çalışıyor Marcao'yu. Çıkın oradan diyor. İstedi. Ardından kırmızı kart Marcao. Kendi takım arkadaşıyla Kerem'le yaşadığı tartışma ve sonrasında yaptığı hareket nedeniyle kırmızı kart görüyor Marcao.
That's disappointing. Anthony was having a exchange of words as well. Wanting the ball much sooner. Mark Gay out of position. Bruno Fernandes made the run, the ball didn't come.
Уходит мяч, и вот здесь заставили ошибиться Реал.
No ball. Be a good back and try and move anything plant. Well, obviously, things thinking that El Ghazi hasn't come back and done his tapping to help out. It's back between the two killer players.
Merda! Giocavamo una merda sempre! Yo me incluyo también, pero no jugamos niente. Tenemos que decir la verdad.
Por eso, pero
tenemos que ganar en esta partida de Champions. Hay que tener personalidad.
Basta, basta, dai. Basta, Cri. Basta, Juan.
He wins it back. And Bruno Fernandes is on the surge. Could set up Sancho, he could go alone. Karius denies it.
I like that. I like Bill's arguing. Whatever they're arguing about, they need to take care. They need to dancing.
Adam, why didn't you score? Why didn't you pass to me? We could have won by more than two. That's what it looks like.
That's what they're trying to do here with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Just sent him straight off, so it was a ridiculous red card. Çalhanoğlu forward. Passage of tight passing as Çalhanoğlu chips that one in towards the...
I don't fucking understand you. I don't fucking understand. Nobody's zipping the game.
Fabulous ball for Salah. 1-0 Liverpool. Cody Gakpo drinking in that stick. The cup uplifted.
He gets the cross in and De Jong is there! And Sevilla have the lead. United switched off. Luke De Jong, the Dutchman, who hadn't scored.
It was a 1-1 draw on Saturday. Might not be 1-1 here for much longer as Mavididi. And Didi pushed aside. He did all he could to get power into the header. And Vicario goes mad. With Berryvale in particular.
Încearcă Scărița și mingea este prinsă în brațe de portarul Niță.
No Lionel Messi, so Neymar took centre stage early on. The strong man needs to look back. Neymar didn't want the defensive midfielders to hog the limelight. Herrera with a beautiful ball over. Neymar and Mbappe couldn't decide between them, but it eventually fell to Brazilian. Angel Di Maria went off for the German Julian Draxler. With 3 minutes to go, Draxler did just 2 touches to make his mark. First to control, the second to score. Some way to make your entrance into Le Parc.
Ele today, Chaita, today.
quiere inventar, pisa área, sigue Vinicius, la pone al centro buscando a Valverde. La idea era sensacional. Otros.
Yo juraría que era fuera de juego. Juraría que era fuera de juego cuando...
Frontal a Toni Kroos. Vinicius amenazando con desbordar en el sector izquierdo del ataque. No se lo permitió Neuhaus. Arranca la moto, la pone Vinicius. El balón rebotado, aterrizó en el segundo.
Spanish TV picked up on this. Benzema was caught on camera telling the fullback Ferland Mendy not to pass to their teammate Vinicius Jr. in French. He's supposed to have told him, he's playing trash, brother. Don't play with him on my mother's life. He's playing against us. And as you see, the conversation continues. Vinicius Jr. emerges into shot, and they have a little bit more of a conversation in a moment.
You guys are chicken.
His own man, I think Carvalho. Well, here's a clash of egos. Didier Drogba and Michael Ballack. Neither of them shy and retiring. Both of them convinced they're the best player ever to wear Chelsea blue.
Something more important to look at. You can see Ballack's not happy. That doesn't look good. It's not great for team spirit.
It's Drogba! It's a good save. Just watching here, as the players go for a drink, Drogba and Ballack are still arguing. Well, this is extraordinary for a side that needs to win today, that needs to channel all their energies towards defeating Manchester United, and two of their prime players are arguing amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's not good. See the manager there. He needs to have a word. John Terry needs to just grab hold of one or two.
Create a man who feels no fear, no remorse, just a perfect killing machine. An agent. So the scene starts in Salzburg, Austria, and someone just hacked into the system.
Salzburg, Austria. I'm stepping outside, nigga.
One unlucky thief tried escaping the scene, but his getaway route wasn't exactly well planned. He ended up trapped in a yard with two Malinois.
Go fast. The fuck happened? Which country is that? India.
When these two tried robbing a fancy house with a pool, they thought they were about to score big. But the dogs guarding the place had other plans.
Who's that?
Jeffy.
Go get him.
Oh. Go.
Jeffy. I think I've watched this video before.
This girl just mixed up the doors and accidentally picked the worst possible one. One thing's clear. This big guy would absolutely defend his home if things got serious.
Some people are not serious, gang. Yeah, some people are not serious.
The owner of this house was incredibly lucky to have a dog around, or this burglary could have ended very differently.
Yo, I was gonna slap that bitch ass thing.
Everything was business as usual at this gas station until a robber tried attacking an employee. Luckily, this furry security guard stepped in and saved the day. A drunk driver crashed his car and tried to escape to avoid ending up in jail. But good luck escaping this four-legged detective.
Show me your hand.
Don't take this full power inside. Far out there, I'll protect you. Come on.
I remember this one.
You ready now? No, put that mother. Come on, get up. Go, dope. I ain't trying to. Yeah, I thought you was it. I thought you was.
Yeah.
You ready now? No, put that mother. Come on, get up. Go, dope. I ain't trying to. Yeah, I thought you was it. I thought you was.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
This house is way out in the middle of nowhere, so the dogs here don't even need leashes. As for why this random woman suddenly showed up, nobody knows.
Hi, you are...
She's so chilled about the whole thing as well. Like, she's so chilled. Like,
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
like she's so chilled about the whole thing, bro. Like,
The loose dogs.
The bravest guard dogs always seem to live out in the middle of nowhere. And to them, size doesn't matter at all.
it was about
You're
to
under
fight.
arrest, mate! GBH! GBH now! Go and get the cuff on him. You're under arrest for GBH!
Is that a woman or a man? Fucking man.
Good boy!
Can I help you?
Yeah. I had a package that was supposed to be delivered here. Have you seen it?
No.
You sure it was a Yeti cooler?
I'm positive.
This is just a routine police dog training session. But that doesn't mean the dog's holding back.
Well, let's talk.
No! No, Bucky!
Call him off!
This guy's gonna upload.
After this, that guy's probably gonna stick to legal ways of making money.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Alright, so I've been hiding a lot of shit from Luigi, and when he finds out.
What you did was out of business.
Yay.
Knows what?
Yeah, but I was just thinking that maybe I should just confess.
Nah.
Tim, you know, it's better that he hears it from my mouth first.
And what's that gonna accomplish?
What? Dead luck.
There may not be any dogs at this house, but this guy does the job beautifully. This dog really knows how to embarrass a thief.
Damn dog. Let's go. Oh, shoot. Let me go.
Come here, Nala. Nala, come. She's friendly. Come here. Come here.
That was not friendly.
The puppy probably couldn't teach him a lesson on its own, but Karma stepped in and handled the rest.
Shit.
What you mean? That thing ran up.
Countryside.
Maybe this dog didn't attack the thieves directly, but it worked perfectly as an alarm system. All the noise he made scared the thieves off empty-handed.
I never wanted you to be stuck again. Hope you it's so cool.
Hey, come on!
These thieves thought the owner of this car would be an easy target. Turns out their instincts were completely off.
It is 12 then.
This is how service dogs are trained to track down criminals, and this officer's speed is very impressive.
Yeah, we're good. Come with me. Tasers away. Let go. Come with me. We're gonna pull you back. Get away from that hat. Well, we're holding it from up there, right?
This bike is under serious protection. The thief, on the other hand, clearly picked the wrong partner.
Oh, you know how to open the door. Okay. Okay. Okay. Well, what do you know? Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this picture. And I'm going to...
What is it?
How you body? Who's seeing my money, run it up? How does he live?
Yellow of Barcelona, the gap-toothed grin, the step-overs, the no-look passes that left defenders frozen in place like statues. For one glorious electric window in the mid-2000s, Ronaldinho was not just the best footballer on the 57 properties. He had bought 57 properties and still could not pay his taxes. One of those was a lake house in Porto Alegre.
That's crazy. I have enough problems already, bruh.
Laptop drinks your latte? Good thing you're naked and can submit claims in minutes on the Naked app. Get naked.
In the world of rock climbing, gear is your lifeline. Thousands of athletes spend their lives tethered to nylon ropes, steel carabiners, and the unwavering trust of a belay partner. In that world, a fall is a mistake you can learn from. A momentary slip caught by the grace of engineering. But then, there is free soloing. To the elite few who attempt it, this isn't just a sport, it's the purest expression of human potential. They strip away what they call the clutter of safety. The ropes, the harnesses, and the heavy hardware, leaving nothing between the climber and the granite but bare hands and a bag of chalk. It is a dance where the music is your own heartbeat, and the floor is 1,000 feet of empty air. They believe that by removing the safety net, they achieve a level of focus that is impossible any other way. Yet, this pursuit of purity comes at a staggering price. Free soloing is the deadliest subset of the sport because it demands something the human body can rarely guarantee: perfection. A sudden rain shower, a crumbling hold, or a single momentary lapse in focus doesn't result in a close call. It results in a fall that nobody survives. Why do they gamble everything on a game where the only prize is the right to breathe again at the summit? Today, we're tracing the history of the legends who defined the craft, the tragedies, and the true cost of the ultimate climb. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to stand on a ledge as thin as a coin, 2,000 feet in the air, with nothing to catch you if you fall? This is the reality of free soloing. It is very different from bouldering, where you stay close to the ground with pads to land on. In free soloing, once you go high enough, the rules of the world change. The ground is no longer a place you land, it is the end of the story. About 30 people die every year from climbing accidents, and unroped climbing, which includes everything from easy scrambling to elite free soloing, is responsible for nearly 1 out of every 3 lives lost on the rock. But where did this all begin? Who was the first person to decide that ropes were just in the way? To find the answer, we have to go back over 100 years to meet a man named Paul Preuss. He is often called the father of free soloing, but he was more than just a climber. He was a purist with a strict moral code. Preuss famously argued that the mountain should be met on its own terms, not conquered by technology. He hated pitons and ropes, calling them artificial aids that gave climbers a false sense of ability. His philosophy was simple but brutal. The rope is not a means of ascent. He believed that if you couldn't climb a mountain using only your natural strength and skill, you didn't deserve to be at the summit. Preuss didn't just climb without ropes. He created a philosophy that still influences climbers today. His idea that using safety equipment was a form of weakness introduced a dangerous standard of purity, where taking greater risks became a measure of skill rather than something to avoid. He lived by a terrifying rule: never climb up something that you aren't capable of climbing back down. To Preuss, safety wasn't something you bought at a store or tied around your waist. Safety was something you earned through perfect technique. If you needed a piece of metal stuck in the rock to save your life, you were cheating the mountain. Preuss was incredibly skilled, once soloing the hardest routes in the Alps, and then immediately climbing back down them just to prove his point. But even the master had a limit. In 1913, at only 27 years old, he went to climb the Mandelkogel mountain alone. He never came back. His body was found 300 meters below the ridge, and because no one was there to see it, people have wondered for a century what went wrong. Modern climbers have a theory called the knife theory. Alex Honnold, the most famous solo climber today, suggests Preuss might have stopped for a snack. If a knife slipped from his hand, he may have instinctively reached for it, forgetting for a split second that he was standing on a cliff. That tiny human mistake would have been enough. Whether this theory is true or not, it reveals the central danger of free soloing. Perfection is not sustainable. Even the smallest distraction can be fatal, and no level of skill can completely eliminate that risk, only delay it. Preuss had established the strict no-gear philosophy in the high mountains, but the sport itself was about to change. In the 1950s and 1960s, a new kind of climber began to redefine what was physically possible. That climber was John Gill. Gill was a gymnast before he was a climber, and he brought that mindset to the rock. He introduced dynamic movement, jumping for holds, and popularized the use of chalk to keep hands dry. These innovations may seem small, but they transformed climbing from a slow, methodical activity into something far more athletic and explosive. This shift had a lasting impact. As climbing became more physically demanding, it also became more performance-driven. Climbers were no longer just trying to reach the top, they were pushing the limits of what the human body could do on rock. But what happens when that athleticism is taken thousands of feet above the ground? In the 1970s and 1980s, a group of climbers in Yosemite National Park known as the Stone Masters brought this new style to big walls. They treated climbing not just as a sport, but as a lifestyle, one built around risk, freedom, and pushing boundaries. The most iconic figure of this era was John Bachar. Bachar was obsessed with strength and control. He trained relentlessly, developing extreme upper body power and creating tools like the Bachar ladder to push his limits even further. At his peak, he could perform unbelievable feats of strength.
Her to make healthy choices.
including one-arm pull-ups on just 2 fingers. He believed that a climber should be able to execute every move perfectly on the first try. Like Preece, he rejected reliance on gear, but now, that philosophy was combined with elite athletic ability. Free soloing was no longer just about purity. It became a demonstration of near superhuman performance. As climbers like Bachar gained fame, free soloing began to shift culturally. It was no longer just a personal philosophy. It became something others admired, and in some cases, tried to imitate. The risks hadn't changed, but the number of people willing to take them was growing. In 1981, Bachar even offered $10,000 to anyone who could keep up with him for a full day of climbing. No one ever claimed it. For decades, he seemed untouchable. But on July 5, 2009, at the age of 52, Bachar fell while climbing at Dyke Wall near Mammoth Lakes, California. It was a route he had completed many times before, well within his ability. Other climbers nearby didn't see the fall, but they heard the impact. He died later at the hospital. His death revealed a harsh truth. In free soloing, experience does not eliminate danger. In fact, familiarity can create overconfidence. The greatest climbers in the world are not immune to mistakes. They are simply able to avoid them longer than others. If the king of the rock walls could fall, what happened to the climbers who took these risks into even more dangerous environments? This brings us to Tobin Sorensen, another member of the Stonemasters and, at the time, one of the most complete climbers in the world. While others were pushing limits on warm granite in California, Sorensen took free soloing into the harshest environments imaginable. He climbed massive alpine faces in the Alps and the Canadian Rockies, places where the danger didn't just come from the rock, but from cold, isolation, and unpredictable weather. Sorensen was also deeply religious. He carried scriptures with him even on climbs, fully aware of the risks he was taking. His friends said the thought of dying young often kept him awake at night, but he believed that his ability to climb was something he was meant to use, no matter the cost. On October 5th, 1980, Sorensen attempted to solo the north face of Mount Alberta in Canada, one of the most remote and dangerous peaks in North America. Even he chose to use a rope with knots for a self-belay on a difficult section. But a piton pulled out of the rock. He fell 2,000 feet to the glacier below. He was only 25 years old. Sorensen's death marked a shift in free soloing. It showed that as climbers pushed into more extreme environments, the risks became less controllable. Skill alone was no longer enough. Now, survival also depended on factors no climber could fully predict. But not every climber who embraced soloing met the same fate. This brings us to Peter Croft. Croft arrived in Yosemite in the 1980s and became known for his incredible endurance and consistency. Unlike many others, he was not driven by fame or recognition. He simply loved climbing, and when his partners were done for the day, he would continue alone. In 1987, Croft stunned the climbing world by free soloing both Astroman and the Rostrum in a single day, 2 long, highly technical routes that demand precision and focus. His achievement was described as astonishing by legendary climber Royal Robbins. But what makes Croft significant is not just what he did, it's that he survived. Croft represents a different approach to free soloing. While he was just as skilled as those who died, he was known for careful decision-making, restraint, and consistency over time. His longevity suggests that survival in free soloing is not just about ability. It's about discipline, judgment, and knowing when not to climb. Together, Sorensen and Croft highlight a critical truth. In free soloing, the line between mastery and mortality is incredibly thin. 2 climbers can have similar skill levels, yet vastly different outcomes. The difference is often not strength, but the choices they make and the risks they are willing to accept. As the 1990s began, free soloists started to treat even the most dangerous cliffs like a local gym. This brings us to Derek Hersey, a man the media nicknamed Dr. Death. Originally from England but based in Colorado, Hersey treated the steep walls of El Dorado Canyon as his office. He didn't just climb routes without a rope, he ran laps on them as part of his daily routine. He relied only on his climbing shoes and his chalk bag, which he called his bag of courage. On May 28, 1993, Hersey traveled to Yosemite to free solo the Stek Salata route on Sentinel Rock, a massive 1,500-foot wall. For a climber of his level, it was considered relatively easy. But as he climbed higher, the weather shifted. a sudden rain shower swept across the wall. Granite becomes dangerously slick when wet, and Hersey was likely caught in a position where he could neither continue nor retreat safely. His body was found the next morning on a ledge. He had slipped. His death is a classic example of the paradox of easy routes. Because the climb felt routine, the external risks, like weather, were underestimated. Sometimes, however, it's not the environment that kills you, but familiarity. This was the case for Jimmy Jewell. Jewell was one of Britain's top soloists, known for his precision and mental control. He had successfully soloed extremely difficult routes multiple times, even repeating them in a single day for filming. But on October 31st, 1987, he wasn't attempting anything difficult. After leaving a pub in North Wales, he decided to take a shortcut up an easy route called Poor Man's Pewtery. It was far below his ability. He didn't even bother putting on proper climbing shoes. He slipped and fell to his death. Jewell's accident highlights a dangerous psychological factor. When something feels easy, attention drops. In free soloing, that drop in focus, even for a moment, is often fatal, and sometimes even perfect focus isn't enough. This brings us to Michael Reardon. Reardon was a professional soloist known for his bold personality and extreme achievements, including over 150 first descent solos. He believed soloing was a life wish, not a death wish, and saw it as the purest form of climbing. On July 13, 2007, he was climbing sea cliffs in Ireland. After completing his route, he stood on a ledge just above the ocean. Without warning, a massive rogue wave surged upward, sweeping him off the rock and into the sea. His body was never recovered. Reardon did everything right, and it still wasn't enough. Together, these three deaths reveal a pattern. In free soloing, danger does not come from a single source. It comes from a combination of factors: weather, overconfidence, distraction, and unpredictable natural forces. You can control your body, you can train for years, but you cannot control everything. And in free soloing, that is the difference between life and death. As free soloing entered the 21st century, climbers began pushing its limits even further, sometimes trying to reduce risk, and other times embracing it completely. One of the most influential figures of this era was Dean Potter. Potter was known not just for climbing, but for combining disciplines. He set speed records, walked high lines thousands of feet above the ground, and even attempted to make free soloing safer by inventing a method called free base, climbing without a rope while wearing a parachute. If he fell, he could deploy it. It was an attempt to solve the central problem of free soloing, the lack of a second chance. But even Potter could not escape risk. On May 16, 2015, he and his friend Graham Hunt attempted a wingsuit flight from Taft Point in Yosemite. Flying at high speed close to the rock, they tried to pass through a narrow gap in a ridge, but both struck the wall and died on impact. Even when adding safety systems, the margin for error remained razor thin. Another climber who represented the modern era was Marc-Andre Leclerc. Leclerc rejected fame entirely. He often climbed alone, without telling anyone his plans, seeking isolation rather than recognition. His achievements were extraordinary, including solo ascents of some of the most difficult alpine routes in the world. But like many before him, he operated in environments where control is limited. In March 2018, after successfully completing a new route in Alaska, Leclerc and his partner were caught during their descent, likely by an avalanche or falling ice. Their bodies were never found. His story reinforces a pattern seen throughout history. Even when the climb goes perfectly, the descent and